All right, so let's get into this guy. All right. So interestingly, and we'll see what happens here. We'll see if I like this or not. But this is not what I ordered. I ordered a seat. I'll have to go back and check and make sure when I look at the configurator thing. But I actually ordered brown, the same color brown. I wanted the whole seat brown. But it's got this little black piece in the middle here, and maybe I just didn't. Maybe I didn't change that. I swear to God I changed that. But I don't hate it. But I wanted it to be brown. All right, here in the garage with 3 seats. This is my brand new Corbin. It's called the Wall seat. It's basically just a 1-up seat, not really designed at all for 2-up riding. It's kind of just cool looking. It does have, and I think pretty much almost all the Corbin seats come with this little contraption here that opens up, and you can buy one of those backrests that goes on it. If you decide at some point, you know, you're into that, you want to do that. This is called like the bomber leather color, and everything is bomber leather with black stitching. And so you custom design your seats there. The middle one is the LaPera tail whip, and it's called that because of this little flip that comes up in the back over here for 2-up riding. I'm going to get my tape measure out in here in a second so I can show you the difference between these. But this is a pretty good view right here, and of course this is the tried and true SDC here, the Saddlemen. But I'm trying to kind of put all of them where they're lining up down here, kind of how they would sit on the bike. So this is kind of how they would sit on the bike, and you can get an idea across the board here. I'll even try to come down right here to show you down the line the difference between how all these sit. It's pretty, I don't know if you can tell from here, I certainly can from just kind of looking at it, but the LaPera is going to be the one that's going to sit down the lowest. I believe the LaPera and the Corbin, at least this seat, now obviously Corbin makes a whole bunch of seats and so does LaPera. These are 2 kind of popular ones, I guess. But one of the things that you can see about the LaPera, and I've got another video on my channel, I'm not going to go into too much detail what the comparison is between these 2 because I've already got another video on my channel comparing these 2 specifically. But one of the things that you can see about the LaPera that's very apparent and very obvious is how sort of straight it goes down like this, whereas the Saddlemen here has a much kind of a smoother, rounded to it, as does the Corbin. You can definitely tell that the Corbin and the LaPera are wider, and these 2 kind of sit the same in the front, whereas if you come over here to the Saddlemen, you can almost kind of see just by looking at the front here how much narrower it is. It's several inches more narrow. But I'll try to put them on their side. I'm going to get the tape measure out here. All right, so we get the tape measure out just to show you kind of across for each of these. In the back part of the seat, you're looking at about 11 inches. It stays about 11 inches all the way across. From there to there, you're looking at about 7 inches. And then on the back here, you're also looking at about 7 inches or so back there. On the LaPera, you're looking at about 12 inches across, right? You're looking at about the same going up, about 7 here. And then on the back here, you're looking at about, right where the butt would be, you're looking at about 8 inches back there. Other question somebody asked me from before too, so if you look from here to here, let me get a little bit. If you look from here to here, you get about 14, a little over 14, if I'm going from right there. From the back there, it's about the same, maybe another 1/4 inch or so more. And then kind of from that part to here, you can see kind of where the back of your butt would be. You can see that's another about 15 inches or so there, right? So what about as wide as this guy's gonna go? So you can tell here at the widest spot, it's about 12.5 inches compared to the widest spot here. It's just right at a foot. So this thing is about 1/2 inch wider here. From there to there, it's about the same. You're looking at about 7 inches or so there. And then on the back, I'm not sure, honestly, that it really matters, but let me just measure it here. It's about 8 inches. Got my chair in the way over here, but if I hit it about right here, you can see that it's about 8 inches or so wide. And then the next thing that we'll look at here is just kind of how high it sits. So the Saddlemen is right about 5 inches. You can see the LaPera is going to sit you lower, so it's only at about 4.5 or so there. And then this is going to sit you at about 5 inches or so there. Up. All right, I have to switch to a voiceover here. My GoPro just decided that it wasn't going to record audio for some reason. So these last 3 sections are just me sitting on the bike. I put it on the stand so that it wasn't sort of leaned over to the side, and then I could put my legs up so that it sort of really emulated the riding position. The first seat is the Saddlemen, and I think this is the first seat that everybody kind of goes and buys. I don't dislike the Saddlemen. I'm going to sell this one between the Corbin and the LaPera. I've got my needs covered. But the main thing with this seat for me, I'm 6 feet tall, and this seat, it feels like it just sort of puts me on top of the bike instead of sitting in the bike. It's also the narrowest of the 3 seats, and I can feel that. And especially, maybe you wouldn't really pay much attention to it if you hadn't sat on a wider seat, but for me, sitting on a wider seat is more comfortable. So I like it for that. And again, because it sits me up on top of the bike a little bit, that's a clear view, large windscreen, and it just puts me up high enough that the wind starts to kind of hit into my helmet in a way that causes some buffeting and things like that. So it's kind of one of those things where you have to figure out what seat you're going to use and then go to whatever windscreen you want to use. So now we're over to the LaPera. This is a seat that I've been using for the past, I don't know how many, 3, 4, 5, 6 months or something like that. And I really like this seat a lot. As I mentioned before, and I'm kind of showing as I'm talking there, how angular it is. So if you, and I think what I'm talking about here, if I had like a sissy bar and a bag or something and you're taking a longer trip, you could really just lean back like you're in a nice chair. So it's got nice support because of that angular position there, and it's a wider seat, and it's just really comfortable. And you can see from the little flip in the back, it'd be a great seat if you had a 2-up
rider scenario, which, you know, is why I'll keep the seat. I think it's nice to have 2 seats. You never know what's going to happen to one of your seats, and so these 2 are the ones I'm going to keep. But I've been really happy with the LaPera for sure, and again, I think it's a great seat for 2-up riding. And like I was saying before too, as the Saddlemen sits me kind of up on top of the bike, with the LaPera and the Corbin, which is the next seat, I feel like I'm more in the bike. And I got this LaPera, I think the guy already put a couple thousand miles on it, even though the seat's in great shape, and it's super comfortable. So another reason why I'm not going to get rid of that. And so now we switch over to the last seat, which is the Corbin. This is the one that I just got. Super happy with this seat as well. I just rode tonight for the first time on it. Just not a long ride, about 30 minutes, but it's really comfortable. And these are really firm seats coming from the shop. And so they even tell you it's going to take a couple thousand miles to wear it into your behind specifically. And so I'm kind of looking forward to that, because this was, of all the seats that I have, this was the most comfortable for that ride. You can definitely tell it'd be a comfortable seat for a much longer haul. And I'm pretty happy with it, and it looks really good too. You can see from the side profile view there how it kind of slopes down. It's not, you could do a 2-up on that if you really wanted to, but obviously it's not designed for that. It's more designed just for 1-up riding. And then of course on the top part of it, it's got the little piece, so if you ever decide that you want to get there's like a backrest that they make, and so there's a little plastic tab up on the top right behind the small of your back, and you can open that up and stick the backrest in there. So maybe if I do some more, you know, kind of touring stuff or whatever, I might pick that option or something. But for now, I think it was like $300 or something, so it's not cheap to do. But pretty happy with the Corbin seat. This is the one that's going to be on my bike pretty much all the time at this point. That is, by the way, I think it's called like bomber jacket is the color. I picked all bomber jacket, and it's black stitching, so it's pretty easy seat to customize. But anyway, that's about it for this video. Next little bit here is 3 clips kind of back to back with all 3 of the different seats, just kind of showing the different seating positions here, and then a walk around of the 3 seats. So anyway, hopefully this is helpful for everybody. As you're looking at some seats, it's one of those really kind of frustrating situations where, unless you happen to have one of these at the dealer or something and they're willing to let you take it off and fit it onto your bike and see if it's comfortable or whatever, it's just really one of those things you just have to buy the seat and try it, and then if you don't like it, you sell it for a loss, and you just kind of keep moving around. So I'm pretty lucky to find a couple seats that I really enjoy. And again, hopefully this video was helpful for some folks if you're in the market looking for some seats. Happy to answer any questions if anybody has any as well, to do some additional measurements or something. Just let me know in the comments. But thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.